So, you want to own your own home, but you're one of the over 80% of Americans with less than perfect credit. You don't have enough money saved for a down payment, or your debt-to-income ratios are so high that the only person who will lend you money is your mother, and she still wants a cosigner. I know that sounds funny, but these are just a few of the reasons why tens of millions of Americans are still renting, instead of owning their own home. And the worst part is, most of them have convinced themselves they will never be able to own a home, or they're waiting on a miracle, instead of doing anything about it. So, why should you do whatever it takes to own your own home? Well, I'm glad you asked, because here's the facts. According to a 2021 report provided by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the average homeowner in the U.S. has a net worth of approximately $200,000, while the average renter only has a net worth of around $5,000. This statistic alone should have you wanting to buy a house immediately, so you can start building equity for yourself instead of your landlord. Think about it. Every rent payment you make pays for a house or building owned by someone else. They get to benefit from the cash flow, equity, and tax deductions. And what do you get? Exactly. You get a roof over your head for another month and nothing else to show for it. This is why MWR Financial created our cash flow system, combined with our Keys to Home Ownership program. Imagine having everything you need to increase your cash flow and income, so you can increase your buying power and save the money you need for a down payment. Or, how about having a team of financial experts who will get your credit scores back into the best shape possible, while lowering your existing bills and your debt-to-income ratios, all at the same time? Sounds amazing, right? Well, it is, but that's not all, because our team of affordable housing experts will even help you locate and purchase your new home for you now, regardless of your past credit history or your current credit scores. Yeah, you heard me right. Our experts will help you determine how much of a home you can qualify for. They will assist you with locating the home that meets your needs, buy it for you, and allow you to rent to own or lease with the option to buy, while our cash flow experts help you get your finances back into the best position possible to qualify for conventional financing. And if conventional financing ends up not being an option for you, your affordable housing expert will owner finance the property for you. In other words, we can structure the option that works best for you, and becoming a homeowner no longer has to be just a dream. It can actually become a reality. With that said, if you're tired of building equity for someone else and you're ready to own your own home, get back to the person that shared this information with you, and let us help you get on the right path towards home ownership once and for all.
Or Facebook and enter extra digit movement in the fan page. And when you enter extra digit movement, you'll see us pop up. And then you'll see us go live, so y'all can see what's going on. Let me hear from you guys real quick. Hold on a second. Just give me a second to get my last little bit of homework in. And what I'm going to do, why I do this, I want you to raise your hand and come off mute for me. And I want you to tell me this week, of all the worksheets you've seen so far, a couple of points that may have stood out to you, right? What resonated with you? Was it the banker's secret, and why? Was it the bloody mess, and why? Tonight we're doing the power of infinite returns, so you can't talk about this one yet because I had to save something for you. But what is it about this week that has resonated with you guys the most? Right, that's what I want to hear. And I want you to raise your virtual hand real quick, and I want you to share that with. What is it, Kim? What I'm going to do real quick, Kim Whitfield. I need some quick help from you. Okay, I'm gonna make you a quick co-host, and I'm gonna bring you off mute. And I want you to moderate this section real quick. All right, I got to pull up something real quick. Just moderate this section. Go ahead and spotlight the people. Let them tell us what sheet has resonated with them the most and why. Y'all got to raise your virtual hand so Kim can call on you, and then I'm going to talk and bring on our special guest. Kim, you good?
Yes, sir.
So Kim, speak.
I see.
Okay, speak up. Yeah, you spotlight it. Speak up a minute, and you go first. You go first. Was it adjustment versus refund? Stop leaving money on the table. Number one asset. Set the tone. What sheet? What resonated? And then take some volunteers.
The bloody mess is what resonated most for me because I had the credit card debt and not realizing how many credit cards that I had over, my lifespan. And now finally getting to a point where I'm paying them off and seeing how much money I was actually giving to the bank, that it was just crazy. And the stuff that I was buying, on that sheet, if y'all remember, it said interest is the penalty that you pay for the right to own something in advance. And I was paying a whole lot of interest on some things that I really couldn't afford at this point. So now being at a point to understanding what that meant and getting my money back to me, and now being able to use the money on other things that are investments, to where now what we talked about being the bank, I can now put my money to become my own bank, and the interest that I'm paying, the 28%, can now go to me instead of to somebody else's account.
Okay, good. So that credit card debt spoke to you. You pay them like crazy. That money goes back into your pocket. I appreciate it. Thanks for buying me some time. Kim, you moderate one more time, and I go from there.
Okay.
You got it.
All right. I see Miss Lysandra. Let's go ahead and go with you real quick.
Good evening. Good evening, Miss Kim, everyone.
Yes.
The one that resonated with me the most is stop leaving money on the table. Because for so many years, actually until becoming a part of Extra Digit Movement and MWR Financial, I was rob a refund. I thought every year this was like a savings for me to get a refund back, because that's all I remember in our household was, don't tell nobody we getting we get tax time. Don't tell nobody how much we getting back. It was like hitting the lottery once a year. And so once I learned that you don't have to wait and you can get it throughout the year in your paycheck without getting in legal trouble, that was just an eye opener for me. Like, I even had my mom asking me, "Is this even legal, Sonja?" I was like, "Mom, yeah, I ain't the only one doing it." Right. So it was like an eye opener for my entire family. So that one right there just always just amazes me how for so long I had no idea that this was even. You don't have to be robbed a refund. So that's the one I love.
But let me say this, Kim. For those who don't know, robber refund is the person that gets a tax refund, and Angela Adjustment is the person who adjusts her W-4 and gets her money during the year. And in our community, we've been taught that you can't do that. That's illegal. That's not illegal, guys. Please repeat after me in the comments. It's my money. You can do what you want with your money. It's your money. You've been taught to pay Uncle Sam all his money and get a refund while he invested and make billions and give you pennies. That's something you've been taught. So a lot of people really feel like a refund is their friend. If you need to see these replays and understand these sheets that we go over and have a lot of fun with it, extradigitmovement.com, right? Kim, I appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for stepping in.
No problem.
All right. Let's go to Issa real quick. Issa, we'll take one more gentleman. We heard from two ladies, and then you come on and let us know what you got. Which sheet and why?
I got a lot on all of them. The one that stood out to me is the one about the bloody mess, because I'm also one who actually had credit card issues. I always was one who reached for that credit card and go out there and spend it, and found myself in a credit card bind. And now I'm also a person that I'm utilizing my DCA, and my DCA is actually having me be my own bank. And
Right.
instead of giving the credit card companies all the money is now coming back to me. And that's the one that really resonated with me the most.
Good. I'll take it. So quick recap, everybody. For those I've never met, my name is Brian Bean. I'm the founder of the Extra Digit Movement, and we show you how to grow your net worth one digit at a time. But we do it using strategies, not a bunch of sales, not a bunch of hype, not a bunch of fluff. We're a bunch of real people, business owners, single moms, educators, lawyers, police officers, you name it. It don't matter. College students, network marketers, doesn't matter. We show you how to grow your net worth one digit at a time. A lot of us are millionaires. A lot of us have walked away from our jobs. A lot of us are buying land, cash. A lot of us are building our dream homes. A lot of us have moved and bought new houses. Debt is no longer an issue. Investments are sky high. We are arguably one of the best kept secrets in the country. And it's because we kind of fly below the radar, because we don't have to brag and boast. Money talks, wealth whispers. Never forget that. Money talks, wealth whispers. So a lot of us show people every day, all day, how we're increasing our net worth. If you want to be one of those individuals, get with the person who invited you to the Zoom, and they'll show you the different things that we do with our different corporations and the membership that we have to help you do that. So the sheet that the young lady was just talking about, stop leaving money on the table. There's a form, the best kept secret in the world, called a W-4. If you have a W-2, which is your job, the W-4 is a form that accompanies your W-2. See, already you sound like it sounds like it's hard, but it's really not. This form allows you to tell your boss or your employer how much to withhold for taxes. Well, what you want to do is get your money up front instead of you getting a refund next year, because how has the refund been going for you? So if you get your money up front, you can pay the government, you can pay the credit card debt off, pay the car note off. The government got you in debt, so they should get you out of debt. So if you get your tax dollars up front instead of waiting until next year for inflation to eat it up, then you pay all your debt off. Now you got cash flow coming in from the taxes, you got cash flow coming in from the debt, and you didn't have to ask your boss for a pay raise. That's what day one was about. Then day two is about how to take that money and pay off the credit cards in record time, because most people never are able to calculate how much of their money is going toward interest and how much is going toward principal. Thank God a lot of banks now by law have to reveal that, so it's no longer a secret. But when you see that $5,000 on a credit card can cost you like $7,000, so you're paying back $12,000, but you borrowed $5,000 on something 10 years ago, you start seeing how America's in a big rat race. Then we showed you on day three, the banker's secret. The bank does have a secret. They get double-digit returns. They give you single-digit returns. You end up in our example with $40,000 at 65, and they got $600,000 at 65 with your money. Yeah. Why don't you just put your money where the bank is putting your money? You see how that works? If you put your money where the bank is putting your money, then you bypass the middleman. You understand that the bank ain't really nothing but a big hustle, right? You're supposed to keep just enough money in the bank to function. And then we show you where you keep your other money so it can grow with uninterrupted compound interest. Keep just enough money in banks to function. Pay your bills, lights, gas, water, car note. You put the rest in uninterrupted compound interest. That's what the bank is doing. That's how they get double-digit returns and give you 1%. That was day three. Day four, yesterday, the number one asset you can own is a home-based business. The government, they don't scream it from the mountaintop, but they tell you on their own, you need to start a business. All the perks, all the benefits in this country go to business owners. You don't have to have a storefront. You don't have to have a brick and mortar. You don't have to have a place to go. Your house, Congress passed laws many, many, many decades ago that said, hey, your house can be your domicile is what they call it, can be where you start a business and you get certain benefits for working from home. They did it on purpose. If the economy ever got bad, people could just ramp up their home-based business and keep this thing going. So when Congress passed those laws, they didn't scream it from the mountaintops, but they basically said that your house, your apartment, everything can be used to work from home. Then I showed you how $6,000, for example, that you can save can make you, upwards of $200,000. Can y'all believe we did all that in 4 days? This is day five. Day five, believe it or not, really is simple. Everyone write down the power of infinite returns. I'm going to show you how the number one asset you can own yesterday, the home-based business, and you, that's right, you watching, you on this camera, you on this replay, you on this course, wherever you see this now, in the future, later, recorded, pre-recorded, doesn't matter. You, yes, I'm talking to you. Other than the home-based business, you are the only person that can give you infinite returns on your money. I'm going to prove it to you. And I'm going to prove it to you using a worksheet. And I'm going to prove it to you using my business partner. This young lady, I got a ton of respect for her because she's one of our newest inductees into the comma club. They say a check is not a check if it doesn't have a comma in it. A 3-figure check is cool, but it's something about a comma being in your check that's 4 figures that makes it that much different. After a while, you guys will have 2 commas or 2 numbers in front of your comma. Then after a while, you'll have 3 numbers in front of your comma. And after a while, you'll have 2 commas. That's what extra digit is all about. I went from 3 figures a week to 4 figures a week to 5 figures a month to 6 figures a year to 7 figures. As a millionaire, when you start having 2 commas in your net worth, now all you do is count the numbers before the comma. Now it's time for me to go for 2 numbers before 2 commas. That's what we do. We just advance you on up as high as you want to go. Y'all do me a favor. This young lady just joined the comma club on a residual basis. Come off mute. Help me welcome to the Zoom, Miss Charlotte Hudson. Y'all give it up. Audio.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the family.
Hey.
Welcome to the family.
Let's go.
All right, man. I wanted one of our newbies to knock this out. She's in the comma club. She's doing extremely well. She's on her way to $3,000 a month residually. Most people don't make $36,000 a year passively. Right now, she's at $1,500 a month residually. Don't have to work for it. Bills paid for, coming in like clockwork. And we get as high as $15,000 per day for those who are seeing this for the first time. It can get as high as $15,000 per day. This is a very, very simple sheet. And we're going to use some people, some that you may know, some that you may not know. And these sheets are going to be uploaded on our mobile app. So you guys can go to our mobile app and you can download the sheets and you can watch these courses and you can teach your children. Miss Hudson, come off mute for me real quick.
Hey,
Hey, how do you feel? Don't be nervous, because I know you're new to the Comma Club, but are the checks coming in, and how do the checks make you feel when they come?
it feels good. Like you said, any check with a comment in it is good for me. So.
Good. Tell everybody where you're from. Give everybody a little 30 to 60-second version of your background so they can understand you did not grow up with a silver spoon and why you're so excited about getting these returns on your money. Give us a little background.
I'm from Flint, Michigan. Teenage mom, homeless a few times when I come up. And I'm just super excited because, you know, I went to school, got a degree, in my master's degree, and they didn't teach us this information. So I'm super excited for myself. I'm super excited for my family. I'm super excited for all of us on this line that has an ear to hear to do better, because now we know better. So it's just, you know, I just don't feel right in regards to how we're brainwashed to operate and think. So I feel responsible, since I know better, to do better and to show others that have a willing ear to hear the same. So
good. I understand you got your trust fund set up. You have a complex trust. You are literally not just talking about legacy. If something were to happen to you, or if something were not to happen to you, either way, your family is rock solid. You got tax exempt status. You're in the 0 to 5% tax bracket recently. Congratulations. I understand that you're excited about now your successors, your beneficiaries, and you don't have to worry about going to probate.
yes, I'm super excited, because you know, if you got a will, you will go to probate.
If you have a will, you will end up in probate. I'm telling you that right now. So I wanted to go ahead and jump into the sheet. It's one of the most simple sheets on the planet. And Charlotte, all I'm going to do is hit the answers in the middle. You talk to the individuals and let them know who these individuals are and what these numbers actually mean. Now, I'm going to set this up for you guys first. The name of this sheet is the power of infinite returns. Now, you guys know infinite means forever and ever and ever and ever, amen. How does a person get infinite returns? Always got money coming back. Here is what you have to remember. To calculate your ROI, all you do is take the amount of money that you've earned, divided by the amount of money you invested, and that's your ROI, right? Real simple. So how much money have you made on the top? How much money you invested on the bottom? You divide the bottom into the top. Even though I'm an English major, I know that's called the denominator into the, I think, numerator, right? You divide those, and that's your ROI. Everybody sees that on the form in the middle. Now, here's what a lot of people don't calculate. Once you get your ROI, you divide that by the number of years it took you, and that's your annual rate of return. See, a lot of people don't calculate their annual rate of return. This is where the secret gets serious, y'all. So the first formula is simple. Y'all ain't got to do all this math. We're going to do it for you. It's real simple. How much money have you made? How much money did you invest? Divide the bottom into the top. That's your ROI, return on investment. Now you take that return on investment, you divide that by the number of years it took you to get it, and that's your annual rate of return. Now, Charlotte, do you know that there are people out there walking right now who have the internet, they have YouTube, they got Google, they got cell phones. In other words, they got all this information at their fingertips, and they still getting 1% annual rate of return.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. It's because if a person can capture your mind, they can capture your money. They get 1%, Charlotte, and they celebrate when the bank tells them they can open up another account and get 0.1%.
And they give them a sucker.
And they give you a sucker. And the sucker they give you is actually called a dum-dum. Did y'all know that? So when you think about it, you can look it up. The sucker they give you at the bank is called a dum-dum. And it's called a dum-dum for a reason. Maybe some subliminal marketing. I don't know. But why in the world wouldn't you get the returns that some of the billionaires that we look up to get. It's because you don't know you can. So Charlotte, you break this down. Who is number one? Who is number two? I'm gonna let you handle the first two. I'm gonna hit the answers. How much did Sam Walton invest initially to start what?
Walmart.
Walmart.
Everyone knows Walmart, one of the biggest, or not still the biggest retailer in the world. And so Sam Walton invested because he believed in himself, right, Brian?
Absolutely.
He started a business, $25,000.
All right. How much has he made? And the sheet may be a little bit outdated year to date, but roughly how much total has he brought back? The franchise brought back.
At the time of the sheet, it was 205 billion. That's billion with a B.
Okay, now I want y'all to think about this. If you go look at Forbes, you'll see Sam Walton. I'm making something up, right? But Barbara Walton, Steve Walton, David Walton, Earl Walton. The Waltons dominate like on the Forbes. Charlie, if it's 18 slots, they like 11 of them. It's crazy. If it's 40 slots, they might be 14 of them. It's kind of crazy. So let's look at why that happened. Well, Mr. Walton himself built the business so big that when you divide, like we just said, the amount you invested into the amount you made, that's an 8 million% return. And y'all out here getting one. 8 million, Charlotte, 8.2 million back. Okay. So Charlotte, how do we get this? How do we know how much that is annually? What's the math again? Take the years and do what?
Take the years
56.
and divide it by
The rate of return.
rate of return.
There you go. So we're going to take the 56 years and put it into the 8 million. Everybody see that? So you got to know, if I made 8 million% and it took me 56 years, every single year I made 146,000%. And we getting one. 146,000%. I have to say this so you can open up your mind and stop thinking that 2% is good, 8%, amazing, 12%, impossible. People getting 146,000%. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This man got 146,000%. Do the math. Brian didn't make this up. Charlotte, who's Bob Johnson? Number two. Now that we got the formula, we could just fly.
And just think, hey, if we do half of what we do, right? Half.
Just think what?
If we do half of 146,000%, I'll be happy.
I'll take it. I'll take roughly 70,000%. Okay.
Number two, Bob Johnson. He actually created and started BET, Black Entertainment Television, for
Good.
approximately $15,000. Why again? Because he believed in himself and he wanted to do better for his family. Total rate of return, 2 billion. Again, that's billion with a B, family B.
That's it. So here's a man who believed that Black entertainment television will one day be big. Nobody thought BET was going to be anything. So he actually bought a cable license for 15 grand. Somebody said, we'll give him a shot. Nobody knew hip hop would blow up and be the #1 export on the planet right now. Y'all don't believe me? Listen to any sports game, listen to any commercial, look at all the concerts, look at the impact on merchandise and apparel, look at the impact hip hop, listen to movie anthems and themes. Hip hop is the #1 export on the planet. People didn't think it would blow up. Bob Johnson said, I got $15,000 and sold it to Viacom for $2 billion. Charlotte said it best. He believed in himself. $2 billion. Now, from what I understand, Charlotte, 50 cents, Shaq, and somebody else trying to buy that bad boy. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. We take the 15,000, we divide it to the 2 billion. What we got? Rate of return overall?
130,000.
Over 130,000. It took him 40 years from inception to Viacom purchase. You divide the 40 into that, a 3,000% return.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Now, Charlotte, here's where people mess up. It's a bad move you don't want to make. You look at Bob Johnson and you look at Sam Walton. You say, wait, what? That's a big disparity. Yeah, because you forgot. One of them is 205 billion. and one is 2 billion. You see, so these numbers, man, don't look at them like compared to the other guy. Compare it to what he started with and compare it to what he ended with. Whenever I teach this sheet, it's important that you guys do that. I don't want you to compare Reed Hastings to Warren Buffett, Bob Johnson to Oprah Winfrey, you know, Sam Walton to Bob Johnson. Don't do that. When you teach this sheet, compare the person, what they started with to what they ended with and what they made every year. You tell me where you getting 33% return on your investment. It's not a hard sheet. We're going to show you where you end up in a second. I'll do Warren Buffett. Everybody knows Warren Buffett, the Warren Buffett way. Everybody knows Geico. Everyone knows Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett got his hands in everything. Warren Buffett can sometimes bail out the government if he needed to. Took $100,000 initially. It was a gift. Turned Berkshire Hathaway into $85 billion in net worth. That's a 850,000% return. Let's just say this is on average. It took him 50 years to make that happen. 17,000% return. 17,000. Let me tell everybody something. Young, old, or indifferent. You guys know statistically, most people don't hit their stride until the ages of 52 to 54. Do y'all know that? I know you've heard of Colonel Sanders and his story, how old he was. You may not know Sam Walton was a whole lot older. Dave Thomas, Wendy's, was a whole lot older. Warren Buffett is old now, you know what I mean? But he's been making money for 50 years. My whole point to you guys is never let age or anything discourage you. Man, had I known this a long time ago, I'd be this and that. You get it when you're supposed to have it. You get it when you can handle it. So most people don't hit their strides to 52 to 54 years old. That's most people. Now we know got some phenoms out there who a YouTuber who may be 9 years old when he critiqued toys. I get it, but we're not talking about an anomaly, right? We're talking about somebody that is the average people in the country. Very important. Who is Reed Hastings, Charlotte? What's the example here?
Reed Hastings got us at a really cheap price at the beginning, right? I think it started out like $7.99, but he's the creator, owner of Netflix.
Netflix.
Over time, continued to increase it.
Started with how much?
Initial investment, 2.5 million. Total rate of return at the time of the sheet, 19 billion. Once again, he believed in himself and he got us hooked, and we pay whatever he says now on purpose.
And you hit it right on the head, man. I think Netflix was $7 at one point, 99. Mm-hmm. If you got the DVD back in the day, they would ship it to you, it'd be $9. And then they took it up to 11. They took it up to 13. Then they took it up to 17. I think now we pay, 19, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe more than that. But guess what? You ain't canceled yet. Most people haven't canceled yet. So that man had a $2.5 million loan, Netflix $19 billion. Took him 21 years to do it. 362% return. Now, when you look at everybody else, you're like, what? But I told you, you can't compare what he started with. He only started with 2 million. Turning it into 19 billion. That's pretty serious. And it took him a very, very short period of time. Like Bob Johnson took double that amount of time. So his annual rate of return is higher. So you see, you got to start understanding money and how it actually works. Compare everybody to themselves. The reason I like the Oprah story, Charlotte, is because Oprah's just like the average person. She didn't start with an inheritance. You know her story. She was in Mississippi. She was a news anchor. She worked her way up and started creating her own media company. So I'm just going to say, for example purposes, she started with 2,000. Now she's worth 4 billion, but the time that she was created, worth 3 billion. She got a 1.5 million % return. 40 years later, that's 37,000% per year return on her money. Oprah is like you and I. I'm not saying everybody in the Zoom can be a billionaire. What I'm saying is Warren Buffett's dad gave him a little head start. Does that make sense? 100,000, everybody just ain't inherited 100,000. Even though 45, you're trying to take President 45, you're trying to take credit like he all that. Your dad gave you a head start, man, and passed all kind of real estate to you. Don't get it twisted, right? Bob Johnson was in the right place at the right time. Hip hop was just thriving. BET, nobody believed in it. Nobody thought rap would even last. It didn't even get played on certain radio stations. Oprah is like you and I. She believed in herself, had a little money, believed in herself, grew her company, believed in herself, kept going, stayed positive, stayed focused. That's why I love that story. But Charlotte, then you got most Americans. Most people have what, and what?
Zero savings, unfortunately, Brian. Zero savings. Cash flow, maybe. In checking, $500.
After all the bills are paid, most people, we may not be talking about y'all, but most people, after all the bills are paid, they got about $500 left.
Nobody on this Zoom. Nobody on this Zoom.
Let's hope not. If not, we're gonna get them out of there. Go ahead.
Right.
If you're lucky,
And if you're lucky, and it used to be me, 1%. 1% rate of return, which is a 0.01% annual rate of return after 10 to 20 years.
10 to 20 years of doing the same thing. And I want y'all to get this before I show you what you can do with us. That's line 6. That's most people. Most people. You may not believe that, and it's hard to believe, but most Americans got $500 left if they're lucky. Most people, a lot of people don't even have that, but I'm being conservative statistically. Most people got 1% at the bank. You divide that by number of years you've been doing it. Your annual rate of return is less than a penny. You don't believe me? Look at how much the bank gave you last year in interest. Most people get 10 cents to a penny because there's no money even in there. And then out the money that's not even in there, they're giving you no money. So that's most people. Then we rely on the federal government and church and Social Security to take care of us. That's most people. The truth of the matter is, and you need to know this. So this is an easy sheet. Our membership is $149. $149. You get $149 back. You divide those into each other, your rate of return was 100%. Now, our membership averages a rate of return of about $2,000. For those who don't know, we get your credit scores up, we get your cash flow up, we get your investments up, we get your debt down, we get your expenses down, we get your taxes down. On average, our credit score increases 126 points. So if you make 149 off the 149 you invested, you got an average rate of return of 100%. A lot of people on the Zoom make 4 figures a month. If the investment is 149 and it's bringing you about 1,500, which is like Charlotte, for example, her rate of return is 1,000%. See, nobody's really going to ever talk to you about how well you're doing because you're too busy looking left and looking right and looking left. You're not calculating your rate of return. You calculating everybody else's money. If you make $1,500 per month off 150 per month, that's 1,000% rate of return every month. All you gotta do is add a 0. Watch, more people will go even further. A 10,000% rate of return is if you make $14,000 a year. You see? Watch. 100,000 rate of return. We got people in our company, in our organization, that get 100,000% on their money. Where else can you do that? The summary at the bottom is going to tell you everything you need to know. This statement changed my life. If you make 1.4 million in our company, your rate of return was $1 million. $1,000,000%. So you're up there on C, D, and E. You're up there with Reed Hastings. You up there with Warren Buffett, Bob Johnson. You up there with Oprah Winfrey. You just got to stay in your lane and make sure you get your rate of return from what you invested. You didn't invest 2.5 billion or million into Netflix. You see how this works? You didn't. Your grandparents didn't start you off with $100,000, but you can still play the game that wealthy people play and still get huge rates of return if you understand money. And it's not as hard as people think. Watch this summary, and it's been a great week working with you guys. Watch. The one word is simple. Would you rather leave $149 in the bank or invest in your own business? $149. Would you rather leave it in the bank or create currency and flow like a river runs alongside a bank? You got to watch the words that people use. That's why they call it the bank, because currency has to flow like a river flows along the bank. when you have currency and you let it go and you put it into something that brings more currents, like a business, it will flow for you instead of holding on to it and thinking that all the money you got need to be in a savings account. People act as if investing is superior to business building, but business building is an investment. Everybody put this in the comments. I will build my business. I will build my business. See, people act like investing is superior to business building. Yeah, Brian, I want some of that land you guys have in California. I'm an investor. That ain't no better than you building a business. You just think it is because you sound professional. Yeah, Brian, I got my private reserve account. I don't want to build a business. I'm just going to invest. It sounds good, but you won't get the rate of return that building a business will. Yeah, Brian, I'm going to get my diversified cash flow account with you guys. Hey, that sounds good. We want you to do it, but that's not superior to you building a business. No investment will grow faster by rate of return than you turning $149 into $149,000. Y'all don't want to hear that, do you? Now, look, I'm not talking bad about investing. You guys know I'm an investor. I got 3 properties, right? Well, I got to say surprise for you guys, but I got 3 properties. I have a portfolio full of stocks, all those things, right? I got a business. I'm a speaker. I got digital currency, online sales from my mindset program, monthly coaching, all these things. But I make more money with the things I create than the investments I make in somebody else's stock. These are just facts. Nobody gonna tell you that because we've been taught to act like investing is superior to business building. Business building is an investment. Watch, a 500 to 1,000% or ratio ROI is okay. $1, bring back 2. That's good. The 100 to 1,000 ROI is okay. But the 1 to 1,000 ROI is for the owner. A lot of that went over y'all's heads. I give you $1, you make $2, that's cool. I give you $1, you make $100, that's cool. But you'll never make more than your own business because you can put forth your own effort and turn 100 into 1,000. I, for example, invested, let's say $2,000 into this camera. Y'all looking at me. You know how much money that $2,000 has brought me? You don't even want to know how much money this camera I'm looking at because I invested in something, became a speaker, worked on my craft, and that $2,000 and that camera brought me 7 figures. Now you tell me what the ROI is on that $2,000. That's what people miss about events like Game Changer coming up. You invest a little money, a little registration, a little gas in a hotel, and turn your education into a multi-million-dollar business that brings you passive income every single month, starting July 7th, 8th, and 9th. Write it down. 7th, 8th, and 9th. July 7th, 8th, and 9th. Write it down. You invest into a little hotel and a little registration and build a multi-million-dollar business. Where else can you go turn a little few $100s into millions? That's reserved for the business owner. But most of us think we can take $100, turn it into 1,000, and then we win. That's cool, but that ain't gonna make you wealthy. That ain't gonna make you wealthy. Last sentence. The problem is people think they can get the 1 to 1,000 ROI building somebody else's business. The 1 to 1,000 is reserved for the owner of the business. Thank God we have an opportunity where you get your own work ethic. Use our training system that we give you, all the documented individuals that we help you, that will help you build your business. It's not given to you on a W-2. It's your money on 1099. You determine how much you want to give the government using all the tax deductions that we create for you, that were created for you. And you mean to tell me you can be a millionaire and work from home and live the legacy and not just leave it? That's the power of infinite returns. People miss it. The infinite return is you. The infinite return is you. So with that being said, these 5 courses will be available on our mobile app. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Do me a favor real quick. Our newest Common Club inductee. Come off mute, man. Y'all give it up for Miss Charlotte Hudson one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. Let her know.
Way to represent, Miss
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Miss Charlotte.
Represent.
Yeah. Congrats.
All right, man. Extra digit. We're building a new crew. We're building a wave of new future leadership. We're looking for the millennials. We're looking for Gen Z. We're looking for the young ladies to step to the plate. We're looking for the young men that want to. Charlotte, how proud are you to be part of this team? What has it done for you mentally?
It's phenomenal. I'm super proud, super excited. Mentally, as you know, it's every day. It's just helping me to get my mind right in regards to money, understanding money again. Don't come from money. So I'm always on, people don't know, but I'm always on Brian or asking Brian for more mindset. So success begins and ends in the mind. So we got to keep it right.
That's it. It begins and ends in the mind. Listen, before we go, man, anybody on the Zoom real quick, I'll take maybe 3 or 4 of you guys that want to speak on the power of what this business has returned you. You don't have to give any monetary figures or statistics. Anybody want to talk about if this sheet makes sense and your 149 has changed your life, $149, feel free to raise your virtual hand. And I want the new people to know what that means for you. Ms. Dodson, what has it done for you?
Good evening, Mr. Beam. I want to say thank you for this opportunity. While we being in the Extra Digit family, this information, education, self-development, self-empowerment has been amazing. It has changed my family. I owe it all to you, and over the years, how we worked, we did the work, you learn the information, you just have to put it and apply it. So I thank you, because my family is moving and shifting our mindset so we can be set in the future for our children and grandchildren. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. There's a reason she got that Spirit Award. She won the first ever Spirit Award in our organization. Verna, you pioneering the Virgin Islands. What's going on in VI?
Oh, well, I am so glad to be a part of this opportunity right here and this organization because of the mindset that you guys have placed on us. I mean, I'm dreaming again. There was a time where my dreams were like this. Now my dreams are like big because I know the possibilities. Just seeing what other people have done, I know it's possible now. And you guys have given us that the steps, the dream, the everything. So Virgin Islands, y'all better wake up because we're going to take this MWR by storm.
Good. Congratulations. I salute you, man. Anybody else going to round it out before we go? Your return on investment. How you feel about it? What's been going on? Don Wilson, the people champ. What's up, big guy?
What's up, man? How you doing, sir?
I'm good. You got your belt with you?
I do. I keep it with me everywhere I go. But just the power of the infinite returns and, like you said, not even really focusing on, Bob Johnson or Sam Walton or anybody else, but just personally for me, this sheet is so impactful because monthly it brings back that 149 actually brings back 1,000% rate of return, and annually, just for me personally, not even including Ruthie, just for me personally, it brings back 10,000% annually, $149 rate of return, and like Ms. Verna just said, man, it just realistically speaking, over the last 3 years, it's just allowed me to start dreaming again. To see you lead from the front and to just really follow, just kind of follow your lead. And, you talked about it once before, the game changer, that you was really getting ready to elevate to catch some of that dust. And so I've been trying to catch some of the dust and follow pretty much in your footsteps. And definitely, like Charlotte said, just the mindset of things. I used to be a person that really worried about having all of this flashy stuff. And it really didn't get you anywhere. But now I got a little bit more quiet, a lot more reserved. But I've seen my portfolio, my net worth, and things that we own actually go through the roof. So yeah, this sheet is just an eye opener. It's a game changer. Realistically speaking, this entire week has been a game changer, and that's just leading into game changer. So thank you for definitely taking us through this final exam for sure.
No, you're welcome, man. Everybody needs to, I'm telling you, man, get your butts to Game Changer. We're going to have a trust fund expert there. We're going to have everybody who needs to be there in the building. All the top producers to be there. I got some more special guests coming to show y'all some mindset training and some tactical skills coming. Y'all got to check it out. Game Changer, July 7th, 8th, and 9th. Get your tickets now because it's going to be a party after party after party on stage, on stage, on stage. All right, Mr. Chuck Harden. Come on up, man. The power of infinite returns. What say you?
What's going on, sir? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man.
Man, thank you guys so much. Charlotte, how are you, darling? Doing wonderful. Amazing job you did tonight. Amazing job. And the thing I love most about what we have an opportunity to do, all the people you mentioned not only had to invest, they had to create, where we get to duplicate. We don't have to make it up. We don't have to come up with the system. We don't have to come up with the product. Our program is already set in place. So it's something that we can already follow. All we got to do is follow instructions. So we make our little investment, follow a system. Of course, we got to invest a little time, a little energy, but the return is amazing, right? To be able to create residual income, not just income, but residual income that we can now infuse more cash flow into other things. It's an all around process. This is not the end all be all. This is to give you the financial means to invest in other things. It's still a part of the process that we're all going through, and we all get to go through it together. And the fact that we have a community of people is all going through the same thing. You know, to have a community of people that if you know that there's, just for example, a Zaxby's is going to be built in your neighborhood, they want investors, you might not have the money to invest, but we have a community of people with the mindset that say, look, I might invest with that with you. Let's talk about that. A group of people that you can now have that conversation with just because we had this platform we already put together. So it's a lot of things that go on to it, but the returns are continuous. So I don't want to go on forever, but we got a lot going right now.
That's good. That's good, man. I'm telling everybody, when you say continuous, that's what infinite means. It's infinite returns. I want y'all to hear from some of the people that are actually making that happen. He said it best. Reed Hastings had to take a little gamble. Are they really going to like Netflix? Can we compete with Blockbuster? Will we get the bandwidth to be able to house all these movies? Will these movies give us the license to re-show it? That's a risk. That's a risk. Although in retrospect, it don't look like it. Bob Johnson, that was a risk. Will hip hop make it? You know, it's too violent. Nobody want to hear the people from the hood talk about nothing. He took a risk. Over here, it ain't even no risk. 149, man, and you already know the things that we do for your credit, your taxes, your debt, your investments, your first-time home buyer, your will, your trust. Your trust, your complex trust, all that stuff for 149. It's really no risk involved. So get with the person that invited you guys out, and they'll share with you what we do in Extra Digit, how these worksheets actually go. extradigitmovement.com. Click replays on the home screen, and you'll see all 5 days. It's been my honor, man, hosting you guys for the past 5 days. We do this maybe once or twice a year just to bring everybody together and give you some education and give you some posture so you'll know, hey, these guys know what they're talking about. You ain't gonna learn this stuff in school, so why not invest in yourself by being part of our team? Get with whoever invited you out. They'll show you what we do. They'll show you what all it encompasses. Get the mobile app that we have so you can connect to it and grow and scale your business. And we'll see you guys every Wednesday on this Zoom, once a week, every Wednesday on this Zoom at 8:25 Eastern on this exact same Zoom. God bless. Thanks for so much for the past 5 days. You guys have a good night.